Hello everyone, Happy New Year friends. I'm Tim Hughes bringing you this edition of Oxford News this week, in fact the first of the year. In our headlines today, discussing a damaged wall in the downtown area, school safety updates and local traffic alerts. Also, in another successful sports season so far in basketball and bowling. We'll have that and more on this edition of Oxford News this week. Sit back and enjoy. And a happy new year to you. Thank you for tuning in today. Reoccurring damage to the retaining wall has led the Oxford Village Council to discuss a preventative measure. The public parking lot adjacent to Hudson Street in the downtown southwest area has been damaged on several occasions by trucks and larger cars, backing into parking spaces and then hitting the brick wall. The wall must stay in place by the village ordinance, and because repairs are costly, even totaling $10,000 plus, the Village Council is trying to come up with a solution. During the December 12th meeting, the council discussed on how an arrangement of parking lot making spaces very tight as of right now for even larger vehicles continues to encourage back-in parking despite multiple signs saying head-in parking only. During the December meeting, the suggestions for adding guardrail to the wall, restriping the parking lot for additional room, were addressed, and the council was interested in receiving additional information about the cost of these improvements. In the meantime, the signs will remain in place and police will likely start issuing tickets for those backing into those parking spaces. The Oxford Board of Education received a quarterly update regarding from Dr. Allison Willman, Executive Director of the School Safety Operational Technology. The student services during the board's meeting on the 12th of December. The update pertained to an ongoing district recovery plan and outlined both upcoming objectives for the district and actions already taken. Again, according to her, the department found vulnerability assessment tools required by the state of Michigan was not up to their expectations, so the team combined 8 different assessment tools into one document. Dr. Willman also said the number of full threat assessments in the district has gone down due to their screening process. 59 threat assessment screeners were completed from August through November, with the majority of the findings concluding students were in a minimal priority or even a low risk. The only 2 students identified as high priority were in an escalating fight with each other, not categorized as a threat by the school. Upcoming objectives for the district include a 24/7 weapon detection system, continuing to employ 2 school resource officers, and conducting ongoing staff training. Traffic alerts from the Oakland County Road Commission. They want you to be aware of this. The commission expects Indianwood Road to close between Joslyn Road and M24 in Orion Township. This will take place Monday, January 8th, and that'll go all the way through Monday, March 11th, as projected. The relocation, private utilities, and gas and communications will be taking place in preparation for the 2024 culvert replacement under the road that'll actually carries the Paint Creek. The culvert is located between Fernhurst Drive and Absegwami Trail, and residential access will be maintained east and west of the closure. The detour for traffic, though, is Joslyn to Clarkston Road to M24 back to Indianwood Road or vice versa. For more information on this project and how to get through where you need to drive, go to rcocweb.org. The Oxford Charter Township is in the process of updating its master plan. The master plan is in preparation for the future outline of the community's land use and the development over the next 10 to 20 years. It includes goals, objectives, policies for the public, facility and infrastructure management. The township recently launched a survey for the community members to weigh in on topics like housing, new development, and public services. Feedback will help the township understand what needs to go into the master plan. Responses are anonymous. The survey does take about 15 to 25 minutes to complete. Participants can enter to win a gift certificate for completing that survey to the Oxford tab. The survey can also be found visiting the Charter Township of Oxford Facebook page. Paper copies are available at the Oxford Township building, and that's located at 300 Dunlop Road. Oakland County Sheriff's Office shared some sad news on the 21st of December. 32-year-old Oakland County Deputy Nicholas Dotson lost his fight against cancer just before the Christmas holiday. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Burchard said Deputy Dotson always sought opportunity to be a leader during his almost 10 years as a sheriff. According to CBS News and that story, Dotson and his wife Delaney became parents in the summer with their son Sullivan, affectionately known as Sully. While raising Sullivan, Dotson was also fighting Wilms tumor, a rare kidney cancer that mainly affects children. Dotson did pass away on December 17th. The Sheriff's Office hopes the community can rally around the Dotson family one more time, setting up a fundraiser to help the family in the crisis. The money is going to a licensed charity, with 100% of the contributions going directly back to the family. If you are interested in donating to help this fundraiser, contact the Oakland County Sheriff's Office via their Facebook page. A recent cyber attack on Corewell Health, a vendor facility, has been breached one more time. 1 million patients in the state of Michigan, according to Attorney General Dana Nessel, announced on Tuesday, the 26th of December. Affected patients have been notified through letters sent out on the 22nd. The incident occurred at Health EC LLC, a Corewell Health vendor in Lansing. Also impacted a smaller number of Beaumont ACO patients. This is the second Corewell data breach in recent months. There have been several other cyber attacks in the state in 2023, including a $2.5 million person breach at the McLaren Healthcare patients in late August. Anyone impacted by any type of data breach is eligible for a full year of credit monitoring to identify protection services from Health EC. The Addison Township Fire Department is offering free smoke alarm installation for all Addison Township residents. In October of this year, October of 2023, the Addison Township Fire Department joined the MI Prevention statewide fire safety campaign to reduce the number of fire-related injuries, deaths, and property loss. To further the cause, Addison Fire Department and Prevention Division will install up to 6 smoke alarms free of charge throughout homes. Homeowners will be educated about home fire safety, smoke alarm functions, smoke alarm maintenance. To participate in the program, contact Jim Angelo at the Addison Township Fire Department by calling 248-628-5600. Upon notification, the fire department will then schedule an installation date. In a separate segment, we call it Behind the Lens. Last week, during the holidays, Behind the Lens, we want to say happy holidays to all the men and women who support us during those times in the fire departments and police departments. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year from everyone from the Oxford Fire Department, the Oxford Police Department, and all the area fire and police staff. Just taking a picture of 2 that had to work on that holiday while we were busy with family. That's our Behind the Lens this week. Our last story today, happy holidays at the Oxford Community Schools. Up and coming, Dave Kenny. He'll have auto talk and science in the news. I'll take a look at sports. You're watching Oxford News This Week on Oxford Community Television.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
And now this week for sports as we roll again during the holidays, big moves for the Oxford basketball. Oxford girls basketball defeated Flushing High School 35-27. That took place just before Christmas on the 19th. Junior Allison Huffstedler led the Wildcats to 14 points. Junior Sophia Rabb earned 9 points, and senior captain Peyton Richter tipped in 5. The girls' record now 3-3 after a loss to Saginaw Heritage 52-41. 2 days later, the Oxford boys news, the Wildcats hosted the Royal Oak Ravens on the 21st. At that game, the two teams were tied for the first place in the Oakland A Blue League division. Oxford started strong at a 23-point lead at halftime, ended in a 46-35 win. Oxford varsity boys are now 5-3 overall, 3-0 in league play. And Oxford varsity bowling underway. Team remains undefeated after rebounding victories over Lake Orion and Troy Athens. On the 15th of December, the boys dethroned the Dragons 22-8. And the 3 days earlier had an upset with Athens High School, the squad league matchup on the 18th. During the Athens matchup, the boys won both Baker games and followed it by taking 8 out of 10 matches. The highest Oxford varsity score was junior Nate Alexander at 257. The boys now 6-0 on the season and 2-0 in OAA conference. At the end of our newscast today, we'll have our last story. It's called Happy Holidays at the Oxford Community Schools. Dave Kenny will have another segment. We'll be back with more on Oxford News This Week.
Women are bad with money.
It's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now,
we've got something to say.
Save it.
Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses.
It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer
80%
more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that, save it.
The falsehoods, the feelings of fault, then the funds.
Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. American Honda Motor Company is recalling more than 2.5 million Honda and Acura vehicles in the U.S. for a fuel pump defect that could cause the engine to stall while driving. In a statement December 21st, Honda said it has not received any reports of crashes or injuries related to the issue. The automaker said it has fielded more than 4,000 warranty claims stemming from the defect as of December 12th. The recalled Honda models are the 2018 to 20 Accord, Civic, Civic Type R, CR-V, HR-V, Ridgeline, and Odyssey. And also the 2019 to 20 Insight and Passport, 2020 CR-V Hybrid, 2018 to 19 Clarity Plug-in Hybrid, and Fit, and the 2017 to 20 Accord Hybrid. The recalled Acura models are the 2018 to 20 ILX, MDX, MDX Sport Hybrid, RDX, RLX, and TLX, and 2017 to 20 NSX. Honda continues to investigate the number of vehicles potentially affected globally, Honda spokesman Chris Martin said in a statement to Automotive News. At this time, we estimate that approximately 4.5 million vehicles will be recalled globally. Honda said the fuel pump impeller in those vehicles was improperly molded according to a recall report submitted December 18th to NHTSA. Over time, the low-density impeller can deform and interfere with the fuel pump body, rendering the fuel pump inoperative, the report states. If the fuel pump module is inoperative, the engine may not start or can stall while driving, increasing the risk of a crash or injury. To fix the defect, dealers will replace the fuel pump with an improved part, and dealers were notified December 19th. Customers will be notified in February. Denso, a Toyota-affiliated global parts supplier, makes the fuel pump assembly according to the report. In November of 2020, Denso added more than 1.5 million fuel pumps to an earlier recall of about 2 million because of a defect that caused those parts to stop working, potentially causing a stall or risking a crash. About 3.5 million fuel pumps were recalled. Automakers that had purchased those defective parts for possible use or installation in their vehicles included Honda, Ford, Subaru, and Mitsubishi, NHTSA said in the 2020 recall report. Honda's Martin confirmed December 21st, that the automaker latest recall is related to the same issue. The recall of 2.5 million U.S. vehicles is an expansion of the June 20th recall, or June 2020 recall, of about 136,000 Honda and Acura models from the 2018 to 20 model years, he said. So far this year, Honda has issued 19 recalls affecting more than 6.3 million vehicles in the U.S., according to NHTSA data. And over at Toyota, Toyota Motor North America on December 20th said it was recalling about 1.1 million Toyota and Lexus models globally for malfunctioning sensors that could prevent airbags from deploying in a crash. The affected Toyota models are the 2020 to 21 Avalon and Avalon Hybrid, 2020 to 22 Camry and Camry Hybrid, 2020 to 21 Corolla, 2020 to 21 Highlander and Highlander Hybrid, 2020 to 2021 RAV4 and RAV4 Hybrid, and 2021 Sienna Hybrid. Lexus models affected by the recall are the 2021 ES250, 2020 to 2022 ES300H, and 2020 to 2021 ES350, RX350, and RX450. The subject vehicles have occupant classification system sensors in the front passenger seat that could have been improperly manufactured, causing a short circuit, Toyota said in a news release. This would not allow the airbag system to properly classify the occupant's weight, and the airbag may not deploy as designed in certain crashes, increasing the risk of an injury. Toyota spokesman Joshua Burns declined to comment as to whether there have been any injuries, accidents, or deaths related to the issue. To fix the defect, dealers will inspect the sensors and replace them as necessary. Vehicle owners will be notified in February. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Drive safely. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Your password isn't secure. There's nothing that a hacker loves more. But there's an easy thing you can do to prove the logger in is you. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Use your fingerprint, your face, or a code. At home or work or on the road. To 2 steps are safer than 1 or 3 or 4. And keeping data safe is so much fun. Authenticate, strong, authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong, authenticate.
The day that JD was injured, I had woke up to an odd phone call. It was the military calling to tell me that he had stepped on an IED.
My role in the Army was I was an infantry scout. I was a squad leader for a recon element.
The Army doesn't really prepare you for injuries. They either prepare you for the soldier to come home or not to come home at all. They don't prepare you for the in-between. There's things that I do for him that is considered caregiving that to me is considered just loving him.
The day I got injured, she got wounded as well. And the veterans wouldn't be the men that we are and the women that we are today if it wasn't for our better half helping us every direction we go.
The Coalition to Salute America's Heroes helps severely wounded or disabled veterans just with basic needs such as emergency financial aid. For our family specifically, they tremendously helped us out with employment through their Heroes Thinking Heroes program.
Visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Swimming in schools has massive energy-saving benefits for fish. A study in water test tunnels has found that fish use half as much energy swimming at high speeds if they are in a school rather than alone, and they also recover in nearly half the time. This explains why so many fish species swim in schools, writes Yangchuan Zhang and George Lauder at Harvard University. It has long been thought that swimming in schools reduces energy use in addition to various other benefits such as protection from predators. But measuring energy use in free-swimming fish is tricky, not least because as fish swim faster, they can no longer generate enough energy using only the oxygen they take in via their gills, that's called aerobic respiration, and start using energy reserves stored in muscles, and that's called anaerobic respiration. Zhang and Lauder put giant danio fish in long, narrow, sealed aquariums where the speed of the water flow can be precisely controlled. Then they measured oxygen consumption while individual danios or schools of around 8 fish swam at a wide range of speeds. Crucially, the pair kept measuring oxygen consumption for at least 19 hours after the fish swam at a certain speed. The more energy reserves fish use for anaerobic respiration, the more oxygen they consume to replenish those reserves after exercise. Previous studies have measured oxygen consumption only during swimming, which reflects only aerobic energy use. Post-exercise oxygen consumption provides a measure of anaerobic respiration as well, allowing the total energy used during swimming to be estimated. Zhang and Lauder found that at low speeds, between 0 and 3 body lengths per second, there was little difference in energy use between shoals and single fish. But at higher speeds, fish in schools used a lot less energy. At 7 body lengths per second, for instance, on average, each fish in a school used 53% less energy than solitary fish. At this speed, the schooling fish are still getting 50% of their energy from aerobic respiration, where the solitary fish were getting just 20%, relying on anaerobic sources for the other 80%. We've known for a long time that there are energetic benefits for fish swimming in schools, but this study is exciting because it shows an indirect but overlooked benefit of these energy savings, that fish are less likely to need to engage in costly anaerobic metabolism to support swimming at intermediate to high speed, says Sean Killen at the University of Glasgow in UK. This means fish have more energy to spend searching for food, digesting meals, or avoiding predators, says Killen. I think they did a great job, says Keith Tierney at the University of Alberta in Canada, whose team has measured lactate production in fish as an alternative way of estimating anaerobic respiration. Overall, the results are in line with his expectations. But what is surprising, says Tierney, is that Jang and Lauder found that fish in schools beat their tails at the same frequencies as solitary fish swimming at the same speeds, but use half the energy per beat. Very cool, he says. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
The day that JD was injured, I had woke up to a odd phone call. It was the military calling to tell me that he had stepped on an IED.
My role in the Army was I was an infantry scout. I was a squad leader for a recon element.
The Army doesn't really prepare you for injuries. They either prepare you for the soldier to come home or not to come home at all. They don't prepare you for the in-between. There's things that I do for him that is considered caregiving that to me is considered just loving him.
The day I got injured, she got wounded as well. And the veterans wouldn't be the men that we are and the women that we are today if it wasn't for our better half helping us every direction we go.
The Coalition to Salute America's Heroes helps severely wounded or disabled veterans just with basic needs such as emergency financial aid. For our family specifically, they tremendously helped us out with employment through their Heroes Thinking Heroes program.
Visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
On October the 4th, my daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. When I received the diagnosis with my daughter, my hope was gone. When we first made it to St. Jude, my baby couldn't sit up on her own at all. The tumor had pressed up against her spine to the point where it basically paralyzed her. She couldn't feel her feet or anything like that. And just to see her start to make those steps after treatment, take your time, one step at a time.
Take my time. Take my time. We'll rise up.
Good job, baby.
I like the way I rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. Head down. Do it 1,000 times again.
It was just like a miracle. It was amazing. I was like, thank God for St. Jude.
And in our last story this week, happy holidays at the Oxford Community Schools all across the district. Students and staff celebrated in different ways this week, both before winter break. Elementary schoolers, Clear Lake, Leonard, Lakeville, Oxford Elementary, they all came together to perform their Super Singers show. The Oxford High School Chamber Choir, the Bella Voice Ensemble brought the holiday spirit to the Oxford Middle School with a caroling performance on the 21st. Across the district on that same day, teachers, administrators, and faculty, I should say, celebrated a Wildcat Well-Being Spirit Day with comfy holiday PJs while at school. Finally, Oxford High School media students Isabella Donnan and Julia Begley directed and produced a lip dub video of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas featuring Oxford High School staff. Again, check out the video or other festive photos on the Oxford Community School Facebook page. Happy holidays and Happy New Year from the Oxford Schools. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition. As always, we'd like to thank our news gathering sources for helping us out with this newscast. The Road Commission of Oakland County, the Charter Township of Oxford, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, the Addison Township Fire Department, the Oxford Fire Department, the Oxford Police, Oxford Athletics, Oxford Community Schools, Oxford Arts Facebook pages, and the websites from the Oxford Leader, CBS News Detroit, the Detroit Free Press, OxfordStrongAthletics.org. This week's photos, we thank anybody contributing those. OCTV can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the ATT Uver system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, or even Roku as well. If you have a show idea or would like to be a volunteer, OCTV can be reached by calling 248-628-9658. A special thank you, producer to Kyle and director Kyle Snage, also our news writer Allison Miller, editor Kyle Snage, programmer Connie Miller, and coordinator Dan Zweiss. For station manager Terry Stiles, and I'm Jim Hughes at OCTV, hoping you have a safe and pleasant New Year. Happy New Year once again. And again, join us next week, and we will take a look at Oxford News this week.